Well, I changed my clothes nearby and headed to the town square somehow. I had to pass through no matter where I wanted to go, and maybe Levon or Levi would be there. But looking back at what had happened, my footsteps felt heavy. I still want to know how you got out of there, girl, but I'll just imagine it was Hugh's voodoo magic helped you somehow. There were still a lot of people at the town square. If they find out that I was Jed, I didn't even want to imagine what would happen. I crossed through the square quickly while trying to avoid being seen. I heard people talking as I passed by.
What's going to happen? What do you mean? It'll be back to normal once the witch dies?
You really think so?
When the last witch died, the entire place got covered with fog. The witch now is doing that. I can't believe she'd do such a thing.
Are you siding with the witch?
She was a good kid.
Aren't there lots of people beside me that were helped by her?
Maybe, but she's a witch.
Yeah, I was surprised too, but I didn't know she was a girl.
Damn it! How did this happen? What are we supposed to do?
There's nothing we can do. The heir of the Hawks will take care of it for us.
I wonder if the Wolf brothers are going to stay put. I shudder thinking about them going to fight over her.
Now that would be the curse of a witch.
Knock on wood.
I continued through the town square as fast as I could without arousing any suspicion. Nice. Well, oh, foggy forest as well. Map, my old friend, it has been a while. And there's no switching back and forth. All right, where do I even want to begin? So I was in the square, you say? Well, in that case, I'll go to the church first, then to the west alley, and then we'll go maybe Snowdrop Field, Tower, Foggy Forest, and make our way back here or something. Sure, why not? To the church! Away! I arrived at the church. I wondered if they were hurt after it was discovered that I'm a witch. Were they hurt in any way for harboring me? I thought of that while I walked down the path, but it seemed my worries were unnecessary. The church didn't appear any different from when I saw it last. I opened the heavy door and saw two faces. Hi, guys. Lawrence and Elric. Oh, and Rabbit sitting on the floor. And how's my girl T? I felt relieved to see that everyone was safe.
Welcome back.
Thanks.
I knew you'd come here if we waited.
You seem to look fine.
Puh!
Yeah, I feel much better after seeing you. We were able to enjoy this brief moment of peace, but I couldn't waste any more time chit-chatting. Yesterday...
I heard everything. It's not just us. You can assume that everyone in town now knows.
Oh,
But how much of it is true?
what do you mean?
I can't believe it all of a sudden. Hearing everyone in this town is already dead.
Puh!
It was true that it was out of nowhere, but
I think it's true.
Lawrence affirmed it before I could.
I'm sure you already know it as well, even though you say you doubt it.
You think?
Why do you think it's true, Lawrence? How can you be so sure?
Well...
He hesitated a little. He stared at his wedding band with a sorrowful yet longing look. Oh, it's a wedding band, is it?
Because I know the Psychedelica.
What do you mean? I didn't believe it. I thought it might be another one of his difficult-to-understand jokes. But he wasn't making a joking face. Lawrence really did know. Then Elric, too? Oh, someone looks awkward. I looked at the other person and he shook his head lightly. But the way he looked at Rabbit feels somewhat impatient. It's as if he knew, but he can't quite remember.
The Psychedelica I know was where a girl was forced to make a choice. Was it fantasy or reality?
A girl forced to make a choice? Like me right now? And what happened to her?
She escaped fantasy and is likely living in reality now.
She lived in reality. So that was where we differed. I didn't have the choice of being saved myself. And you were there, Lawrence?
Yes.
Is there any meaning in doing anything in Psychedelica? This fantasy world? That girl went back to reality, right? And you're still here.
It's fine. Knowing that my loved one has returned to where the sun shines brightly and is smiling, that is enough for me.
But no matter what you do, even if this world continued...
There is still meaning to it.
Really?
Even if that and this world are all just an illusion, the time we spent there is not wasted.
Even if our lives and the entire world ends?
Even if you lose your memories or take another form. Even if it ends up taking the longer route. The path to the future starts from here. That's what I think.
His voice was filled with confidence. Could it be that Lawrence was in the middle of that path? And Elric, too? Elric, as usual, looked impatient. If I were to believe in Lawrence's words, the choice I made may have meaning. And even if only my soul were missing...
I'm sorry for talking about this. It might have confused you even more.
No, not at all. I'm glad that we talked.
Whatever. I think it's stupid to even think about it. So, Jed, what do you plan on doing from now on?
I don't understand it fully yet, but I want to talk to more people so I can think about it some more.
Uh-huh. So that's why you came to see us.
Yeah. And there's one more person I want to meet.
She's been sleeping for a while, but I'm sure she'll wake up soon.
He already knew without my saying.
I've already told her the bare minimum. I think she's accepted it.
Thank you. I nodded and then head to T's room. Oh, T, my girl. I knocked lightly. No answer. Her memory was gone, and I didn't think she had recovered enough to speak. I opened the door slightly to enter. It was exactly as Lawrence said. T was sitting up on her bed. So Lucas left you here. Interesting. How do you feel? She nodded. That's good. There wasn't anything in particular I wanted to say, but I wanted to see T's face. There's some trouble going on, so I might not be able to return for a while. T made a slightly sad expression. Did she feel sad, or... I'm sure Lawrence explained the circumstances to her, but I wondered what T thought. T, are you afraid of me? She shook her head. Seeing that brought a sense of relief to me. Thank you. I'll be sure to return. Goodbye. Wait. T opened her mouth for the first time that day, but she seemed to have trouble continuing to speak. Please help the Hawk Lord. The Hawk Lord. That was T's father, Olgar. Olgar should have been captured by Lucas just like me. T's memory still hadn't returned. Even though she had forgotten he was her father, she still cared for him. You want me to help him break free? No. She shook her head again.
Please, ease his pain.
I had not expected those words to come from her mouth. Speaking of which, I hadn't considered how Olgar was feeling. The scene we saw yesterday in Olgar's room was of his beloved wife and newborn child who were taken away by his own sister. He clung on to the Kaleidovia, but its powers did not activate, only to have it close the entire town off in its own world. This was the man who is guilty of that act. And T asked me to soften the suffering of Olgar. Is that what you want, T? She nodded. Would I be able to soften his suffering? And how? I didn't want to admit it, but Olgar was actually my real father. What did I want to do? Do I really want to save Olgar deep down in my heart? T continued to stare at me, unblinking, waiting for my response. Ooh. I'd do anything for you, girl. I owe you, if nothing else. I looked T straight in the eyes and nodded. I understand. If that was what T wanted, if that was what someone really wanted, I was sure there would be a way for Olgar to be saved. I'll save his soul somehow. Alright, to the West Alley now. Oh no, it's locked! No! Drat. Alright, fine. Not to the West Alley. To Snowdrop Field? Nope. To the tower? Yeah, to the tower! We can do that one. Might run into Ashen Hawk here. Ashen Hawk was not inside the tower. He wasn't here, even at a time like this. Or perhaps he was unable to return due to the commotion. Or maybe he's... I stopped in my tracks and started to head up the tower. Ooh, at the top, eh? Yep, you called it, girl. You really know this boy well. And there, at the very top, was Ashen Hawk. This was where he lost his life. Ashen Hawk.
If you're here, then that means Hugh's in jail right now.
Yes. I heard about the last magical stone.
I see.
Ashen Hawk must have known too. He knew, but didn't say anything.
I'm sorry. I forced you to shoulder the heaviest burden.
Yeah.
Not just you, but all the children, and the people of this town. They have all shouldered our sins.
Ashen Hawk, you didn't do anything. Francisca was the one who watched Arya die, and Olgar was the one who activated the Kaleidovia. Ashen Hawk, you just did nothing.
That is my sin. All I had to do was to love, and yet I couldn't even do that.
You didn't love Francisca?
I did.
I felt relieved at those words, but at the same time they made me sad.
If she vanished, you and brother would return to me.
Francisca did not receive Ashen Hawk's love. That was why she did that. I didn't know what caused for them to grow distant. The side who gave love and the side who received it. Maybe one of them was at fault. Or perhaps both. But Ashen Hawk now was the only version of him I knew. In the same way, I only knew the Francisca who was kind to me. No matter what happened in the past, that was everything to me.
Can you forgive me?
Yes. Well, if you stop being such a slob, I might forgive you.
That's a difficult order.
The gloominess in Ashen Hawk's face didn't disappear, but despite that he gave a little smile.
What will you do now?
I don't know yet. I can't decide. I didn't know what the right answer was, and I didn't have the courage to choose while I didn't know. If only I could receive courage from someone. There was that someone in front of me, though he didn't look very dependable right now. But he had always been like a father to me.
Daggers to my heart.
Say, Ashen Hawk.
What's the matter?
Yeah, you know, that's the kind of look you give someone who's like a father to you, Jed. Girl, I swear. Can you do it again? For good luck?
I don't have the right to do that right now.
This was the first time I asked for it, but he rejected me.
And it had no effect whatsoever.
Please just do it anyway. I need it, or it won't feel right.
Where did you learn to become such a big baby?
Ashen Hawk moved in and pulled me close to him. I feel really weird about this whole thing, but let's just keep going with it, I guess.
May whatever choice you make bring you happiness.
Yeah? Ashen Hawk's lips touched my eyelid. His kiss was as cold as the snow. But it melted the heat in my right eye, spreading to the rest of my body in the form of warmth. It was that sort of kiss, you know? You know? Thank you. If the town continued as it was, would Ashen Hawk remain even though he was now a ghost? All while living with the memories he regained. If that was what it meant for Ashen Hawk to shoulder his own sins. I don't know what these choices are going to... I guess it's like... Are we deciding for the characters what happens in the end? I don't know. Put him to rest, be by his side. I mean, our girl wants to be by his side no matter what. Maybe we can be ghosts together since I have to die, apparently, to use the Kaleidovia. We can move on to the next world and not have this weird pseudo father-daughter, uncle-niece relationship. Maybe? I don't know. I would be by Ashen Hawk's side. That was about all I could do for him. I would live with him, have conversations about nothing. I didn't know how much that can help heal Ashen Hawk's heart. But heck it. I've done it. Did it now. Okay. Well, the prison? Okay, so I'm in the foggy forest. I can't end there because I have to end here. Really can't do this, huh? No. How about you? Nope. Just a whole lot of nope there. Okay, fine. Foggy forest, to the prison we go. I feel like there was a thingy that popped up, but I don't know what it was.
Oh? You're back already?
No, I wanted to check up on you. I was worried and came back to the jail cell only to find myself still there. He was still working diligently as my body double. I wanted to be out for a little longer. Is that okay?
Of course. Oh, but how about saying hi to the newcomer before you go?
A newcomer at this hour?
Maybe they chose to come now to avoid being seen by others. Look over there, in the other jail cell.
I looked in the direction past the bars where Hugh was pointing. Is it Olgar? Yep. Olgar was there. Well, glad I talked to T before seeing you. What? I gasped. I didn't think Olgar would be thrown into the same gel? Yes, the gel. Jail.
Don't you have something you want to talk to him about?
Urged by Hugh, I walked up to Olgar's cell. Hey, Dad. Each step I took brought me closer. Soon I was in front of him, separated only by the bars. Noticing my presence, Olgar looked up. The first thing I noticed was the difference in his eyes. They no longer had that crazed look, and they were quite bright. Seeing him this way was much more powerful than before. I felt like I would be overwhelmed, but I stood my ground and stared back at him. Olgar's lips curved slightly into a smile.
You resemble Arya.
He mumbled my mother's name, his wife's name. Are you really my father?
No.
I asked him a rhetorical question, but he denied it immediately.
There is only one daughter of the Hawk Lord, and you are not her.
Interesting. It was obviously a lie, but I was glad that he said it. I was not his daughter. His only daughter was T. T is still alive, although she's not well enough to get up yet. Olgar didn't say anything, simply looking away from me. He may have been relieved to know that T was safe, or perhaps it was out of guilt that he hurt her.
Haku, I know you're listening.
He talked past me to the other person here.
What is it, my master?
Stop with your fake acting.
I see. Well, excuse me then.
Hugh was standing next to me. He escaped the cell and was back in his original form.
Is there something you'd like to ask?
You said that this world is of my making.
Yours and Apris's.
He's already dead. What happens to this world should I die?
It may vanish, I believe.
For a second, I doubted my ears. This world would vanish even if the Kaleidovia wasn't completed. So I didn't need to die? When were you going to mention this, Hugh?
But that chance is extremely small. It's true that you and Apris have created this world, but it is formed with the shared memories and imaginations of many people. I have no idea how much of an effect there would be if you died.
I see.
Olgar thought for a few seconds and then turned to me again.
Jed, was it?
Yes.
Kill me.
What?
What are you so surprised about? That was your wish, wasn't it?
I did think that I wanted to avenge Francisca, and he was the cause of all the strife in this town. But now that I had found out the truth of the magical stone and what had happened in the past, I couldn't direct any of my hatred toward Olgar.
If there is a chance to end it all, it should be tried. Otherwise, this entire town will be swallowed up by hatred.
Because I'm a witch?
If it were that simple, the townspeople could kill you, and that would be the end of it.
You're saying there's more to it?
At the very least, there are people who aided you. Apris's sons, their servants, and...
It seemed like he was about to say a name, but stopped. Maybe Francisca, he was going to say?
There are those who think of you as a witch, and those who do not. There will be a confrontation between the two sides. And that will happen whether you're alive or dead.
No. If I'm alive, it will cause worry to those who think of me as a witch. But if I died, would that mean that Levon and Levi would seek revenge from the people who chased me to my death? If that were to occur, the war would never end. If the town wouldn't disappear even when I died. If someone completed the Kaleidovia.
What Olgar is saying is likely to be correct.
Even Hugh was saying this. Then what should I do? I was completely lost. Should I kill Olgar and hope for that? That's not right.
If only you were the big bad witch.
Huh?
The big bad witch is meant to be defeated. A happy ending would be waiting after triumphing over evil.
Stop interrupting.
Olgar glared at Hugh, who shrugged nonchalantly.
It would be better to lay out as many possibilities as possible.
He whispered to me in a way only I can hear.
There's no need to think of anything else. Kill me, and it will all be over.
There was something that didn't seem right about what Olgar said. It was as if he had a death wish. Do you want it to end?
Yes, that's right. To me, the snow is the same as Arya's ashes. I've hated this town where the ashes of death continue to fall. I could finally see her one more time. I clutched at that single sliver of hope, but even that is not meant to be. Then again, even if I were able to meet Arya, she would just reject me. She would not want to be embraced by my blood-stained hands.
I had never heard him give such a long soliloquy, but without a doubt it came from his heart. Olgar had lived the past decade grasping for hope and devoting his whole being to madness. That was his life until today. And now Olgar had a new desire, his very own death.
Now, kill me with your own hands.
But T doesn't want you dead. I promised your daughter, she is your daughter. I promised her I wouldn't kill you. I need to ease your pain somehow. But it's not through death. It's not through this death wish. Please give me time. I couldn't decide. At the very least, I couldn't kill Olgar at that moment. I didn't think I could make that decision.
You don't have much time left.
I knew that, but still. Hugh, can I ask you to be my double a little longer?
Your wish is my command.
I wasn't trying to run away. I kept my head up, looking forward as I left the jail. This was so I could make a decision I would not regret. These choices, man. Oh, 3 episodes unlocked. Okay. Well. What do I want to do? Well, I was going to go to the West Alley first, so... Let's go back to our original plan, shall we? Though not many, there were still watchful eyes around town. I tried to walk along the edges to avoid attracting attention. And suddenly... Whoa! A hand grabbed me and pulled me into the alleyway. Hello? What's going on? Who? My mind was confused, but my body was already reacting. I shook off the hand and aimed my fist at... Levi! Of course you would be in the alleys.
Wait! It's me!
Right before I struck, I stopped. Levi?
I knew it was you, Jed. I can tell even when you're in that outfit.
I suddenly felt weak. Don't scare me like that.
That's my line. You managed to escape.
Yeah, someone helped me.
Really? Seems like they beat me to it. I was supposed to be the one to save you.
Though he complained, Levi was giving me a big smile. I was glad to see him so happy, but I felt sorry for making that joy short-lived. But I have to get back soon.
Huh? Why? You managed to escape.
There's someone there in my place. Besides, if I run away, nothing will change.
What do you mean by that?
The state of the town. Everyone is already suspicious of everyone. If I run away, if the witch...
You're not a witch.
But everyone thinks I am. That's why I don't want to cause everyone to get even more worried.
Who cares about them? They're the kind that called you a witch.
Levi? Aw, Levi! Don't cry, you'll break my heart.
You're doing this for the sake of the town? What about you? Why do you have to be treated like this?
Tears swelled along the corner of his eyes and began to roll out in beads. Levi?
It has nothing to do with the witch. You're always you, Jed. You need to take better care of yourself. You saved me. If it weren't for you, I would never have regained my sanity. I can't do anything without you.
Levi roughly rubbed the tears from his face with his hand. His left hand was bandaged, and it looked like there was blood seeping through. So much time had passed since then, but his wound still hadn't healed. Levi, you're bleeding.
Who cares about my hand?
I care.
It's fine. This hand has already committed so many unforgivable things. I killed so many people.
That's...
If anyone deserves hate, if anyone deserves punishment, it's me. Don't you think so? I'm the one more fitting of that. I don't care if they cut this hand off or burn it up. It's done so many horrible things. So why does it have to be you?
Levi's heart was filled with regret. Even I was able to forgive Levi. But that might have been because I was still alive. What about the dead? The dead couldn't even forgive. They couldn't wish for atonement. That scar of his would never go away, because it was a crime that he committed. You could say that was all there was to it, but if he wasn't crazed by the power of the magical stone, if he were not in this closed world, would Levi have done the same thing? As long as this world continued, Levi would also be imprisoned. But if the Kaleidovia was completed and souls returned to their rightful places... Levi, you'd look great in a bright place.
Huh? What are you saying all of a sudden?
I knew what was inside Levi's heart. When I peeked inside, I felt the darkness, the muddiness, the suffocation. Levi was inside that all along. That was why he cried for help. I wanted to help Levi, because... Oh, my heart. I do love him. It's not time for that yet. Regardless of love, he should be under the shining sun. I think you would look great under this shining sun. I wanted to release his darkened heart from this town covered in snow and fog. I wanted to bring him out to where the sun shone brightly. I could easily imagine Levi laughing and having fun. I needed to get going.
Jed.
Thank you for caring so much about me.
You have to consider the people that need you.
Yeah, I know. I do. I turned my back to Levi and started running.
No matter what happens, I will try to save you.
I felt Levi's gaze on my back until I was hidden from view in the fog.